Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'm sharing with you a revisiting Revolution video. I've got a number of products here to share with you and I'm very excited because of course Revolution is my favourite brand of all time, so I can't wait to share all of these products with you. I have just my brows applied because I use a Revolution Pro microblading brow pencil in dark brown and of course the Obsession brow pomade also in dark brown. Of course, in every video, if you would like to know what I'm wearing, it's always listed down below in the description for you. And of course, today is Thursday, which only means one thing on my channel, that it is Thank You Thursday, of course. So I'm going to be shouting out and virtual hugs are coming someone's way in a moment. Just before I mention that, if you would like perhaps a shout out next week, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram, and of course just keep those comments coming. Now the person that I want to shout out and send virtual hugs your way, so it's a big thank you coming your way to EJM Engelhard, and I hope I pronounced your surname correctly. Of course, do let me know if I haven't, but that's EJM Engelhard. Congratulations to you, so well deserved, and thank you so much for your beautiful comments. Much appreciated. Now of course, back to the products. So you can see I've got nothing on my face at all apart from skincare. So I'm just going to go through that. So to start with, I use the Targeted Under Eye Serum from, of course, Revolution. So it looks like that. I've used quite a bit of this. I'm up to about there now. Just a little drop here, a little drop here, and I really love that product. Absolutely beautiful, and I think it's either $5.99 at Superdrug or £6 from revolutionbeauty.com. Now of course all products will be listed down below as well as the links that you can purchase them from as well. Next I apply this and pat this on my face, and it is the 2% hyaluronic acid solution, and it is the Plumping and Hydrating solution, and again it looks like this, and I've used a lot of this. I love this. It's down to there. Absolutely stunning product, and all four of these skincare products I would recommend to any of you. Okay, the next one is this one. Now I'm having a real hard time getting hold of a replacement for this. Superdrug is out of stock, so is Revolution Beauty. I did get an email to say that it's back in stock, and by the time I looked it was not available, so I don't know if it's sold out or whether the email was sent to me in error. I don't know, but this stuff is hard to get hold of. It is the Revolution Hydrating Boost lightweight hydrating gel cream, and it is, I think this one, is it $8.99, $7.99, something like that. And I absolutely love this stuff. I have been using it ever since it launched. I can't live without it, but as you can see, I have only about one application left, and I really need it. So I'm on the hunt tonight to go and see if I can track one of these down. I'm very disappointed that I couldn't actually get it on the 3 for 2 offer from Revolution, because it is amazing stuff. But of course, a lot of you are finding that out for yourselves. Obviously, that's why it's out of stock. Okay, the next product and the last in the Revolution skincare products that I use is something that I've also had to reorder, and this is amazing. So over the top of that gel cream, I apply a little bit of this, and this I use on my neck, and it's amazing. I'm really seeing that my neck is now starting to go back to how it was, quite dry. It's not crepey as such, but I can notice the difference, as we all can with our own skin, and it is the CBD oil. So this I pop over my skincare. You can see it is totally empty. I've had to order it. I was holding out hoping that I could get it on the 3 for 2 offer, but alas no. So I've had to order it now on its own, and yeah, I can't again live without this. This one retails for I think $9.99 from superdrug.com, Superdrug stores. They obviously stock it, and of course revolutionbeauty.com. But yeah, I just put a little bit of this over the top and on my neck, and I really have noticed a big difference with this on my neck. I have just putting the I've just been putting the gel cream on my neck, but it really needs the oil. Now I'm heading for the big 5-0. So I just need as much moisture apply to my skin as I possibly can. But that is my skincare regime. I absolutely love it. Okay, so that's already applied. Of course, my brows are on. And then what I go in with now is this. And it's probably going to be obvious because, especially if you're a regular viewer, but it's the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I love this. It's in the shade C4. It's one I use every single day. And I'm just going to pop a little bit under there, little bit under there. I'm just obsessed with this product. And then what I do is I pat it into my area there and then just carefully just guide it into the places that I want it to go to, like there. And then just gently put it into place. And then again with the other side. And of course I'm using my ring finger, which is the lightest, well, it gives the lightest pressure even. If I can talk today. Okay, so that is all in place. Now I of course apply the Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation in the shade F4. This is a perfect foundation. I love it. So a little bit of this dotted all around. I've got to be very, very careful around my nose, not my nose, my brows today. Okay, the brush that I'm going to be using is a kabuki brush just from eBay, very inexpensive. If you would like to check these out, then all you have to do is go onto eBay and just put in foundation kabuki and you will see this brush. It actually comes in a collection. I don't see the point of spending a lot of money on brushes if inexpensive ones work. Most of mine are very inexpensive brushes. So I'm just now patting this into place. Just takes a few minutes, and I always, on the jawline, most of the time if I'm wearing like a t-shirt or a top that doesn't cover my neck, I will go down my neck, but because I'm wearing a roll neck today, then what I'll do is I will just pat it into the jawline so you don't get that line. Sometimes if you don't do this, what you get is you get a line around the face and it looks like you're wearing a mask. So obviously just make sure that you blend it in here. This is such a good match for my neck though, that since I've actually got this foundation, not the brush, I hardly have to go down the neck because it is, like I say, just such a good match. And it really does look like skin. You know, it doesn't look fake at all. I really, really love it. For such a full coverage foundation, it is just amazing. Okay. So I think that is it. And you can already see the difference. Also with this foundation, this is the, well, I should say the only foundation that I've ever used that you can use a brush to actually cover my nose. Every other foundation I've used, I've always had to do it with my finger. But this one, I can do it with a brush. So I'm just making sure that it's all properly just applied. Now what I have to do with the under eye, I do find that the concealer does crease a little bit for me, so and usually more when I'm doing these videos, because when you're doing your own makeup you don't obviously talk, but yeah, so what I do is I just pat it, and I'll probably have to pat it again in a moment, just pat it into place. And these do set as well, although I will be setting it with a little bit of powder. Okay, so the palette that I'm using today, what I will say is that I am so thrilled that Revolution has now introduced to their brand a lot of the setting powders. So you can either get the loose setting powders in a lot more shades. I know they had lace, they had a deeper colour, and they had also banana shade. The banana was okay, but you could see it. So they've actually released a lot more shades in the loose baking powder, I think it's called, and they've also released a lot of the like set powders, and I'm really pleased because from Revolution I've had to use like palettes, so I'm really pleased that they've actually introduced, like I say, to the brand, lots of little compacts of the you know, powders that I use in lots and lots of shades. So I'm sure that there's going to be one for you, and I think they're about £5 each, something like that, so do check it out. But today I'm using this, so it's the Revolution Imogenation Highlight to the Moon palette, and you can see that for a long while I was obsessed with this. I really like it. I've hit pan very badly on one of the shades there, so I'll be using that today, and that one is the Pretty Heart, the very first one. I'm going to be using the Real Techniques contour brush to apply this, and I'm just going to pat this out again. I always have to do this, but not quite so many times. So I'm just getting a little bit of that shade and then just apply it underneath the eye like that. Then on the other side like that. Okay, and then I just go down the side of the nose, the chin, and just between the brows and on my forehead there, like that. Okay, so that is the base set. Now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of bronzer. So I'm going into the same palette and I'm going to use Warrior, that one there. Okay, and then I'm going to be using the NYX fan brush. I think this brush is the most expensive brush that I've got within my collection. It's about £13–14. So I'm just going to apply that. And then I'm going to just bring that down and just start adding a little bit of bronzer to the side of the face. Just change my mirror a little bit, that's better. And just pat that into place like that. You can see that that's now starting to bronze. I do like quite a lot of product on. Like that. And then down the other side. Okay, just takes a little while just to make sure that that is all in place, like that. Okay, then what I'm going to do is go back into, what am I going to use? Is it Warrior or Can't Deal? I'm going to try Warrior, which is the shade that I've just used. I'm going to see if I can contour with it or whether I have to go to the deeper one, because this is quite deep as it is, and I'll show you a technique just to lighten that up slightly. Or blend it in. This is the only area that I literally, you know, use the brush and brush it into place. Okay, so then what I do is I go back in with my foundation brush, and I'll just go around the edges and just soften that a little bit and blend it in. I'll also use this brush just to gently go under the contour. What you can do is, if you want to, there's that technique, or you can go back in with the Pretty Heart, the shade that I went under the eye with to set it, and you can, you know, go like that with it. Usually though, I use just the foundation brush. Okay, so that is the base applied. We've just got the blush now, so I'm just going to pop that palette to one side. Okay, and these brushes is, well, these are the blushes that I like from Revolution. So I've got this palette, which is Hot Spice. That one I absolutely love. And then I've got this from the Emily Edit, the Needs. I really love that blush as well, and you can see it's well used. I love the blush and the contour or the bronzer in here. They are my favourite products from this palette. Let me just see, what shall I go with today? I think I'm going to use the Hot Spice palette. So I'm going to get my blush brush, and it is from Wilko, and it is, yeah, it's a Wilko blush brush, like that. And I'm going to go in with this one here. It's the top row. That one, is it that one there? That one there, sorry, that one there. So second one in, I believe. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of product on the cheek and just blend that in nicely. Okay. Again on the other side. So again, I really like my blush to be soft. So I'm just going to get my foundation brush again and just go around the outside of the blush there, like that, so it's all nicely blended. Let me just move some of these brushes. Okay, now we're on to setting the eye. Now usually I would use the Revolution Pro Eye Elements, and you will see that in every single video. For today's video, because of course it's all Revolution, I'm going in with the Conceal and Define Concealer again. So I'm just getting my Wilko flat brush that I use to carve out my brow and neaten those up. And I'm just going to get a little bit of that and pop that on the eye. And then I'll go in fact, I'll just go here a little bit, get rid of some of that darkness. And then I use my ring finger again just to pat that into place, like that. Again with the other eye. A little bit more liquidy than what I'm used to, but it still goes on very, very nicely. So again, just pat that into place. A little bit more needed there. Okay, so then my lids are all neutral now, so that I can obviously apply eyeshadow. I'm just going to set that with, again, the Imogenation Highlight to the Moon palette. Again, I'm going into Pretty Heart with the same brush and just set that like that. So now we're all ready to apply the eyeshadow. In fact, actually I've forgotten one product that I wanted to share with you. Now this is amazing. If you can get your hands on it, I don't know if it's actually within the sale, I'm sure it is, but I would certainly check it out. And it is the Revolution, of course, the Jelly Highlighter in Dazzling. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. It is so beautiful. It's the lightest highlight that I have ever used, but I really like it. In fact, it's one of the only highlights that I use as well. Now I'm just going to get a little bit of product and then just apply it here. Now I don't like too much highlight. But what I do like about this product is that it just gives you that glow from within kind of glow, and it just makes you look like you are glowing. You won't be able to see it properly from this side. I always do this side first. I'll go to the other side in a minute. Oh, it's the first liquid, well, it's a jelly highlight, but it's obviously not a powder, but it's the first highlight that isn't a powder that I've worn that, number one, doesn't take off my base product, and it just looks so stunning, and I can keep patting it and getting it into place how I like it without it obviously disturbing that makeup. But it just gives me that dewiness that I want, without looking like I've got too much highlight on, as you can see there. It is just stunning. I think I need to just blend that contour in a little bit. I think I've gone a little bit harsh with it. There we go. Okay, just getting a white now. So yeah, absolutely love that highlight. It is just amazing, and like I say, if you can get your hands on that, especially in the sale, I would certainly grab one of these. It is just beautiful. It just gives you that beautiful glow. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so basically the base is all done, and I'm ready to now do one of my favourite bits, which is my eyes. And I've got a few eyeshadow palettes here. I've got this one, and it is the Jewel Collection Gilded, which is my absolute favourite from the collection. It is stunning. You can see why. If you're a regular viewer, you know I'm obsessed with those grungy golds. So I've got that one. Then I've got my favourite Revolution Reloaded palette, which is, of course, the Basic Mattes. Oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with that. So I've got that. Then I've got this one, which is the Imogenation eyeshadow palette. And again, I love the colours in here. It's stunning, and I really like the way that you've got so much eyeshadow here, which is you know, those eyeshadows that we use the most of. So yeah, really love that. So do I use that one? Then I've got Kizu's palette, which obviously the Imogenation and Kizu were the collaboration palettes. Oh, I just love this so much. And then I've got the last collaboration palette or the last palette that I'm going to share, and it is the Emily Edits. And again, I really love that as well. Do I go in with that one? I want to do something a little bit different, so I think I'm going to go in with the Emily Edits. Let me just make sure I put these all safely down first. So let's have a look. I think I'm going to go in with the Emily Edits, the Once palette, because I really, really love it. It's given me some beautiful looks. I'm just moving the eyeshadow palettes because what I don't want is a crash and then they're broken. I really, really want to use that Eve Rose colour. Oh, stunning. Okay, let's do that because I've been using this palette for a lot of greens. So let's do something a little bit different. Okay. So what do I go in with first? I like Midwest and I like Prayer. Midwest is here and Prayer is here. I love those, and I think this is such a well thought out palette. Usually I feel a little bit overwhelmed by these larger palettes. I look at it and I think, gosh, so many palettes, what do I do? But here I think Emily's done such a good job because I can see eyeshadow combinations within this palette because it's been so well put together. I think I'm going to go in with Prayer, which is a little bit pinker rather than Midwest being a little bit neutral. I'm using the fluffy brush again from Primark, the 251 Iron Crease Contour Brush. It is extremely pigmented, so I think I'm going to tap a little bit of that off. And yeah, let's go in. Wow. I was expecting that to be a little bit more neutral, but wow, does that pack a punch. I'm sure I've used this before, but it was a while ago. But yeah, really, really love that. Love how it blends out as well. And I must say, I was talking about this the other day. You know, when I try makeup palettes from other brands, it takes me a little while to then get used to their formulas, because I am so used to a Revolution's formula. And not only am I used to it, but I love it. It is my, I suppose, starting point for other eyeshadow palettes. You know, is it as good as Revolution? Not only do I like Revolution, their formula, I like their price point. Why is it, and I always think this to myself now when I'm looking at high-end palettes, why is it that high-end palettes are so expensive when Revolution can make such beautiful eyeshadows for such a minimal amount? I mean, this huge palette I think was £15, or is £15. You can still pick it up. So yeah, and to be honest, this year, 2019, one of my New Year's resolutions is not to purchase high-end makeup. I've got actually something that I want to share with you, but I picked it up at half price. But, you know, not to get carried away with all of this, you know, I need that £40 eyeshadow palette because everybody else wants it. So I'm keeping to inexpensive makeup, because I'm thinking to myself, why? Why do I do it to myself? Spend a lot of money on a palette that, you know, you get something from Revolution and it is so good. I mean, I talk about that in nearly in every video now, because I feel quite passionately about it, because, you know, these 40, 50, 60 pounds eyeshadow palettes, they're, you know, are they as good as Revolution? Some of them aren't, and Revolution is so inexpensive. Okay, so that was Prayer, and I want to deepen it up, but obviously I want to use that Eve Rose colour, which is, it's a stunning, beautiful, like a duochrome, so I want to use that. What do I do? What colours do I do now? I want to do something a little bit different. Do I want it to go down the red route? Do I go down the burgundy route? Do I go down, I really like that pie, really like that as well, but I want another colour in there too. I think I'm going to go in with Cheer, which is something that I've not used before, and it's like a burgundy tone. See what that looks like first of all. It's that kind of colour. Add a little bit of something else, a little bit of depth in this Prayer shade. I really wasn't expecting it to be quite as pigmented as it was. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. I don't want it to be, you know, too much of a red eyeshadow look, although I do like that kind of look. So I'm just going through the crease and just deepening that up a little bit. I think this palette from Emily, the Emily Edits, the Once, is one of those palettes I think that everybody really does need, because you can get so many looks. I can see why it was sold out, you know, for so long in the US, because, you know, it's an amazing palette. I'm going to take it up a little bit. That's better. Okay, I'm going to go in with Prayer now and do the under the eye. Lovely. And then I can gauge my eye look. As I said yesterday, I can't really get an idea of where I am until I've put that shade under the eye there, but that looks good so far, so good. I'm going to use a little bit of cheer under the eye. The mirror is giving me that light reflection. Such a big mirror. Love that. Okay, now I want to add Pie Fi, I think. We're going down the purple route now then to get into that Eve Rose colour. So we're adding a little bit of depth now. Stamping it into place. All the way through the crease, like that. And then I'm going to just on the outer third of the eye here, just bring that around as well. Gorgeous. Okay, now I think that's done. It looks good in my mirror. I'm going to now go into that Eve Rose and I'll just show you that colour. What I mean, it's one of those colours, it's like, is it lilac or is it gold? You're not quite sure. So, I'm going to pop that on. Oh, absolutely beautiful. It looks so expensive. You know, like a luxurious fabric. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, just absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm just going back in with my brush now for Pie Fi and just going over that shade so you don't know where the lid shade, the shimmery shade ends and that outer third deep shade Pie Fi starts, like that. Okay, now I'm going to get this brush, which is the 250 pencil and powder brush, is it? Smudge brush. Now what do I put in the inner corner? I want to do something, I don't want to go in with the same shade on the lid, but I want to do something a little bit different. I don't know if I want to go in with green, just to add something a little bit different, because I absolutely love that Grateful shade. Or do I go in with gold? Decisions, decisions. It is so, in fact, what I'm going to do actually is get a little bit of Belle Violet before I do the inner corner. That one there. So it's much more of a violet colour. I'll show you that colour. And I'm just going where that edge is. I'm just going to add that there. A little bit of an extra dimension to the look. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. There is so much that you could do with this palette. Stunning. I don't know what that is. Okay, now for the inner corner. I don't think I'm going to go for green. I think, am I going to go for Oh Heavens? Yes. Oh Heavens is a like yellow gold kind of champagne kind of colour. So I'm going to go in that. I don't want to draw attention away from the lid. instant light to the inner corner. Absolutely beautiful. Overdone it a little bit, but you know, I always overdo the inner corner. Love it. Okay, now what am I going to do is apply the eyeliner, which as always is the Revolution HD Smoky Waterproof Eyeliner. And I always have trouble with this lid. I should know by now to undo it before I start the video. There we go. Okay, so just apply that. Then of course the mascara. Here it is, Hiding, and of course it is the Revolution, the Mascara Revolution. In fact, actually I want to apply another product. I want to apply the Liner Revolution, which looks like this packaging. It's one of those felt tips. So the Liner Revolution, and I'm just going to line my eye. I really love this because of the long point. And also it doesn't feel dry. You know, a lot of these liners, they often feel really dry and scratchy. This doesn't. You hardly feel it on the skin. It is so beautiful. I don't hardly hear anybody else talking about this. It took me a little while just to apply that, and now we're going in with the Mascara Revolution. There we go. So now the eye look is complete. I absolutely love it. You've got a little bit of, it's like a red burgundy kind of base, but then you've got a little bit of something extra. So you're moving into like burgundy or purple, then a little bit of a lilac, and then that duochrome. So absolutely love all of that. Now I've got to think about what I want on the lips. I've got a number of products here. I've got the nude collection. I think I've got pixelated there, and then we've got what one is this? It is stripped. So we've got stripped, we've got pixelated, those two. Then I've got these three glosses from, again, that jewel collection. I've got those, which one of those actually featured in the video that I filmed for Revolution. Again, if you've not seen that video, I'll link that down below as well. And then I've got my favourite here, which I love. Now, I did have the lip liner. What have I done with my lip liner? Here it is. Okay, it's getting smaller and smaller by the day. It's Chauffeur. The other one I've got is actually down to about there. This one I have managed to sharpen from yesterday, because in yesterday's video I forgot that it actually had run out. So this is my favourite lip liner from Revolution. It is looking a little bit of worse for wear, because I use it. It's my favourite, and it is the Renaissance collection, and it is Chauffeur. So I'm going to line my lips with that. soft, creamy, the perfect colour for me. Absolutely love it. And it's only a few pounds. Love that. Now I'm going in with my favourite lipstick of all time from Revolution, and it is the Renaissance lipstick in Greatest. Absolutely love this so much. It is an amazing lipstick. I would recommend it to anybody. And so many of you have told me that you have purchased this and how much you love it too. It is amazing. I haven't worn it for a while actually. I've got lip liner all over me now. Let me get another wipe. I sharpened it and obviously made quite a mess of it. Okay, so, oh, I love that lip combination. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that is my Revisiting Revolution, and I've shared with you a lot of products that I love from the brand. Of course, I would love to hear what you think of my eye look. What do you think of my lip look? What do you think of my, I suppose, my face my face, you know, the products that I've used. I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit. What do you think of the products that I've used for my face? Any products that I've used today, what are your thoughts? Obviously, I need to get my hands on the gel cream, and I hope that I will be able to get my hands on it very soon, because I can't live without it, and from tomorrow morning I need some more. And I really don't want to go back to my previous brand. I want to keep with this one, but of course I need to hunt one down. So yeah, that's all of the products that I wanted to share with you today. Obviously, congratulations to EJM Engelhard. You really deserve it. Like I say, I hope I've pronounced your name correctly. Obviously, I would love it if you all shared the love and sent them EJM Engelhard's way. So yeah, I'd love that. Of course, this is a friendship circle, and I love how my channel is progressing. So obviously, keep up the good work, everyone. And if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. But as always, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.